We start with some disturbing news from Ondo State, where a member of the Ondo State Football Association, Dr. Babatunde Akinbinu, has petitioned the Nigeria Football Federation over alleged financial mismanagement within the state FA. Well, he addressed a letter to the NFF President Ibrahim Guzo, and the petition demands that the Ondo State FA Chairman, Sunday Dele-Ajayi, should present financial statements and balance sheets for his administration, which concludes this March. Well, allegations also include a failure to provide financial reports over the past 4 years, raising concerns about potential funds misuse and hindering football development in Ondo State. Now, Akinbinu warns that this lack of transparency could erode trust in Nigerian football. He also was quick to cite similar issues in Benue State's Lobi Stars, and the petitioner also calls on the NFF to enforce financial accountability before upcoming state FA elections in March. Well, joining us now all the way from Akure is Dr. Babatunde Akinbinu, board member of the Ondo State Football Association. Dr. Akinbinu, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. The allegations that you've made have been very, very weighty, but the question a lot of people ask is, can you prove this?
Well, generally, I've not even made allegations. I've simply asked that the Ondo State Football Association chairman be compelled to do what is in the statutes of the Football Association. There are no allegations. We are going into elections. The board chairman has called what's apparently going to be the last executive board meeting. You know, I'm a board member like himself, and there are 7 other members, all of us, 9 of us, you know. And there are no matters of finance on the agenda. It will mean that in the entire 4 years we've been in the Executive Council and General Assembly, we never reviewed finances of the FA. It means that the FA finances have been managed as a sole situation, sole fiefdom, if you allow me to use that language, of the FA chairman and whoever he appoints as secretary. As a matter of fact, the board never reviewed or ratified whoever will be secretary. So what the bank statements of the Ondo State FA looks like in the last 4 years, even me, who is an executive board member with him, does not know. We never.
Sorry, Dr. Akinbinu, sorry to cut you short. I just want to be clear. You were saying that in the last 4 years that your board has been in place, matters regarding the finances of the association have never been tabled or never been discussed. There's a difference. Was it ever tabled, or was it when it was tabled, it wasn't discussed?
Yeah. Yes, matters of finance was tabled once, just once, on the executive board agenda.
Just now, once in 4 years.
I've been able to understand how football association runs, because that's what develops into the NFF that looks into everything that has to do with football in Nigeria. So it's the states that lead to the national. Once there is no financial scrupulousness, once there is no clear financial patterns at the state, it means that poor characters and poor management of funds move directly from the state to the national, because it is whoever is the chairman at the state that forms 84% of the voting bloc that determines the national chairman or the national president. We never had a budget for the year in all our 4 years. We
never had a budget.
We never had an internal audit system, not to talk about external audit system. And we're going into elections right now without finance even being brought on the agenda at all. It cannot be right. I'm not making any allegation. I'm only saying, hold on, don't go into elections without an assessment of the financial balance sheet of the Ondo State FA.
Okay, sorry, Dr. Akinbinu, sorry to cut you short. Sorry again to cut you short. So where does the Ondo State Football Association get its funding from?
So funding for the FA comes from sponsors. We've had Bet Nigeria and Chief Kunle Shoname sponsored the Ondo State Football League for the last 2 years. Okay. Funding also comes from affiliates, that clubs that are associated with the Ondo State FA. For example, and there are many things about football people don't understand. For every player that is leaving Nigeria to go and to get an international transfer certificate, your state FA chairman has to sign a document introducing it to the NFF. So every football player comes through a club, whether amateur or professional, and they all pay some form of affiliation fee or the other to the state FA. Okay, so you also get money from the government as well, from the Ondo State government. There are also times that there are funds that come from government where they say that. Now, we didn't discuss these matters at the General Assembly. As a matter of fact, the General Assembly, which is the highest decision-making body of football association in Ondo State, never even sat more than once in our entire 4 years. We had the election in March 2021. We were called by the state chairman for another Congress in March 2022, where the most important item was for the chairman to change the statutes. The statutes like the constitution, the binding law of the FA. And since then, in 2022, he has not called another. So we didn't have any in 2023. We didn't have any in 2024. And he's clearly planning in 2025 to call another General Assembly where they'll just come out have another election without anybody ever seeing the finances of the administration. It makes no sense anywhere.
Dr. Akinbinu, I think we have a question for you.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Dr. Akinbinu, it's good to have you on the show. And, personally, I want to commend you for your courage because I think some of these things happen across the country, but people don't really have the courage to speak out. But first and foremost, I want to ask, because the letter I saw was signed only by you, are you alone in this struggle, in this agitation for there to be accountability and transparency? And that's what everybody should actually call for. Then secondly, for the past 4 years, this agitation did not come up. Why now? Why now? Is it because the election is around the corner?
So if you read that letter, for example, you find out that, I'm not sure. I think I wrote it in that letter, the petition to the NFF chairman, that I constantly raise it at FA board meetings. And it was either stepped down on the one occasion when the chairman eventually agreed to bring it to board. And I have what you have here, I have minutes of those meetings. And there's several of them. It's a full sheet. And of course, I have copies of it elsewhere, And of course, it was always stepped down. Now, you see, at these meetings, at board meetings, which are called at the behest of the chairman at whatever time he likes, it's a game of numbers. So if Dr. Akinbinu, for example, who is the only medical doctor or PhD, whatever way, in the executive board, remember that all over the country, there are not too many people who are super professionals, not retirees at the FA, because super professionals really don't know how to even get into football administration at all. It's been left to referees and coaches who are very important, yes, but football is the biggest uniting factor in Nigeria, and everybody should have a role to play in its management. So when it is stepped down by all the bets, there's very little you can do because this is about democracy, a game of numbers.
So speaking of numbers, so are you a lone campaigner like Onye asked? Are you the sole voice?
I'm not alone. I can tell you clearly, I'm not alone.
So, but the letter was signed only by you.
In the board, and there are 6 of us that are on this line. Now, I may have written a sole petition to the chairman, but of course, there are 6 of us who are really asking, and a lot of members of the General Assembly too, who are really tired, as it were, anyway, of one chairman who's been running since 2010. That's nearly 15 years, saying that he funds the FA with his own personal money, and we've never seen whatever the accounts of the FA looks like.
Okay.
Can't always have expenditure. There's income from somewhere.
We really have to go. Yeah, we really have to go, Dr. Akinbinu. But I have to ask you this final question. There are those who say that you are a disgruntled element who is trying to pretty much rock the boat before the elections. How would you want to respond to that?
I have nothing at stake. I'm not even likely to contest the next election as it is. I played so many roles with so many organizations. I sit as the Vice Secretary of the Nigerian Medical Association in Ondo State. So why would I be particularly disgruntled about football? This is about finances. I'm making no accusation. I'm only saying, let's see the books. Let's say, thank you, let it be balanced. It's just normal, just fiduciary standards anywhere in the world to ensure that there are auditings before you end one tenure and you go into another. And that's what I'm asking for here. Okay.
Well, we'll be speaking with Dr. Tunde Akinbinu, board member of the Ondo State Football Association. Thank you so much for your time. And hopefully we'll be getting the other side of the story from Otumba Sunday Dele-Ajayi himself. Of course, you do know that we like to hear both sides of the story. I'm sure he'll have plenty to say as well. But thank you so much for your time, Dr. Akinbinu.